Welcome to the world of Rockpile Solutions, RPS Tools for takeoff applications. In this presentation, I'm going to talk through the commands that we offer for takeoff purposes that will help you increase your productivity, increase your performance, increase operational flexibility, and get the job done faster, quicker, easier, with fewer steps. Rockpile Solutions is 100% committed to Trimble Business Center for data prep and takeoff requirements. We're also 100% committed to making you more competitive through training, support, and great product development that provide tools that increase productivity and improve construction workflows. As a group, we leverage many years of TBC product development and management experience working for Trimble. We know that mass adoption takes more than a great product. Our system approach includes templates, libraries, menus, new commands, product development, work process methodology backed up with high-level technical expertise to provide training, support, and consulting. We start off with our package as a series of menus that we've developed and tailored specifically for takeoff purposes. Each menu is easy to understand, has fewer steps, and has the same common workflow process. We start off with the image and PDF menu, and in that menu we work from left to right, so we start off by importing images, placing images, georeferencing images, adding boundaries to the images, and then extracting vector PDF data. Once we've got the image in, we then go into the data prep process. In the data prep process, the same thing applies. We either digitize information, we clean up information, we use CAD functionality to trim, extend, join, etc. And at the end of the day, we end up with cleaned two-dimensional data that we can move on to the elevate and model process. In the elevate and model process, we're adding elevations to the data. We're using smart tools for elevating lines, contours, pads, and other features on the job site. We're creating surface models, adding surface members, adding break lines around the edge of the models, offsetting surfaces, extracting features from tin models that we've imported. We're adding contours or adding contours at elevation to check and validate the model that we're creating. Then we move into the takeoff process. And in the takeoff process, we categorize the layers for takeoff. We build the surfaces. We add boundaries, we add areas of interest, we get our site improvement and materials manager sorted out, then we go into the process of assigning site improvements, assigning topsoil, defining strata, importing boring logs. Then we run the over-excavation process before completing the exercise with cut fill maps, cut fill labels, adding site improvement legends, adding cut fill map legends, and then pasting other information like 3D views and volume reports onto our drawing creation. We wrap up the process by running a different takeoff report, one of the different options of TBC. It's a very simple four-step process combining menus, ribbons, toolbars, and in addition to that, a project template. Success with TBC always starts with a good project template. We've put a huge amount of time and effort at Rockpile Solutions into building a work process for takeoff, but also a template that supports that. Our templates include layers and layer groups, view filters, project settings, text styles, label styles, table styles, and dimension styles, drawing templates for title boxes, logos, and settings to produce compelling drawing output as part of the process. We've also added libraries for materials. We've also added block libraries for symbolization on drawings. And we've added color maps that allow you to produce compelling cut fill maps as part of your deliverable for the takeoff exercise. The project template supports and drives the work process and underpins your productivity. Producing great drawings quickly as a deliverable of takeoff is also a fundamental need of solutions. TBC has fantastic drafting capabilities, but without a good project template that has all the drafting template built into it, it's useless. It takes a lot of time, effort, and understanding to build a great drafting template. We've done that for you. Our templates can be customized with your company name, logo, and other information quickly. Our templates include the ability to create drawing plans, custom sheet layout incorporating 3D views, volume reports, legends, cut fill maps, site improvement maps. We can do cross sections for projects very quickly, and we can also produce plan and profile drawings. The template can be extremely quickly modified to meet your needs, and we can teach you to use the drafting process to produce compelling drawings as part of your takeoff deliverables in just a few minutes. The RPS Tools package includes 85 additional commands for Trimble Business Center. Commands are all focused on data prep, modeling, drafting, and corridor modeling processes. All of the commands increase your productivity, they increase your operational flexibility, and they streamline your work processes, allowing you to get the job done faster. Most recent commands are also more than tools. They're complete work process functions. For example, our Takeoff lines command allows you to digitize any type of line. Digitize using CAD functionality or digitizing over the top of PDF files. Takeoff lines allows you to create 2D lines for contours and building pads, 3D lines for curb and gutter, sidewalk, and other features on the job site. It also allows you to create 2-point lines, 4-point lines, add elevations and elevation offsets. It allows you to capture surface elevations as you trace and surface elevations with adjustment for things like water mains underneath your finished design levels. All of this functionality allows you to make the job easier and faster. Smart Join allows you to join lines together, but in a smart way. We also correct for all known issues like crossovers, gaps, joins, little lateral skips, things that you find in typical PDF files. Optimizing line strengths allows you to turn corded line work that comes out of PDF files into 3D curvilinear geometry. That curvilinear geometry is more efficient from a modeling and takeoff perspective because it's got fewer points and it's got more accurate information stored within it. Slope Designer allows you to create offsets and slopes, offsets and elevations, offsets and slopes to surfaces, offsets and slopes to finished design levels. You can also use our point creator function to actually create points along feature lines. But all these things, they calculate values, and these values are engine based, and we can incorporate those engines into other commands. So for example, our Slope Designer command incorporates both the point creator functionality to determine where to calculate the points for the slope design, and it also incorporates our optimized line strengths functionality to turn the lines we compute back into curvilinear geometry at the end of the process. So all of these tools combine together to create a compelling solution, and it's more of a product and a system than just a set of tools for TBC. We start off the process of Takeoff with data cleanup, data preparation, and data input. Here are just a few of the commands that we offer out of those 85 commands for the data preparation, data input process. Layers are a fact of life. They come in from CAD files in layers. We also get layers sometimes from PDF files. And if we don't, we create layers based on the style of the objects that we're importing. Those styles and functionality force us into the creation of new layers. When we create new layers, we have to categorize those for takeoff purposes. Our new layer command combines not just the creation of the layers, it also combines the creation of the layer groups, and it allows us to define the takeoff properties for the categorization, but also which site improvements might be applied to those lines on those layers, but also how those layers are going to be used for design or existing in the takeoff process. The relayer command allows us to simply select the target set of layer lists, and then we can select objects graphically, and we can just double click on a layer to relayer the information. It allows us to move data around within the project onto different layers extremely quickly. Geometric selection takes selection to a whole new level. Geometric selection allows us to add object properties like the length, the shape of the line, the number of nodes in the line, the way the line was drawn clockwise or anti-clockwise. We can use those kind of properties in isolation or in combination to rapidly select objects where you've got many things on the same layer, select objects by their properties to separate them and to put them on the new layers. Originally developed for cross-section work, it's just as useful for site plan work as well. Layer Manager allows us to sort out layers that we've imported. We can filter, search, and replace characters in layer names to reduce the name length and make them easier to understand. We can add layers to layer groups. We can change the layer names by adding prefixes and suffixes, which allows us to handle revisions of projects easily. When we get a revision, we can also copy all of the layers in a layer group along with all the data to a new layer group to make a copy so we can start the process of revision 2 when revisions come in. For data creation purposes, we have the ability to create points by station and offset. Our Takeoff lines allows us to digitize lines or create lines using CAD functionality, but in a variety of ways that take care of all of the different methods of inputting line work. It becomes your one point of creating line work going forwards. Insert segment allows us to rapidly and easily add segments to lines that we've created and completed when we realize that there's points that are missing. Data cleanup. Crop crossing will save you hours on every project, cleaning up contours in between curb and gutter lines, in sidewalks, or other hard standing areas. The crop crossing allows you to define a line with offsets left and right to create a corridor into which it will clip out all of the line work within that from a selected layer set. Convert to line string. It doesn't just convert polylines and CAD lines into line strings. It also removes UCS objects, which makes the data usable. It also allows you to filter the number of vertices in both horizontal and vertical to reduce the line work to make it more compatible and faster and easier to work with from a takeoff perspective. Smart Join takes a whole new look at joining lines together, allows you to do simple individual joins or large-scale group selection and multiple joins. It's smart enough to know not to join things together when they're not needed. It's also smart enough to know what to do with the ends of the lines when they don't match. Move them sideways, move them longitudinally, join them at the mean location. A whole range of different options to make joining line work quick and easy. This will take hours out of your week, every week. Explode lines. Often when you get line work, you want to explode it down into component pieces, especially for cross sections, but also for site work. So explode lines will make life easier working with line work. And it doesn't just explode them into all segments. We use smart technology to understand the shape of the line, and you can define parameters that control what lines get exploded and which ones don't. Optimize line strings. We've already mentioned it. Take any kind of chorded line work and turn it into curvilinear line work. That makes the lines easier to work with. You've got fewer nodes for modeling, and it takes control of the modeling process back from the original PDF data. Elevating and fixing 3D data and surface modeling is the next step of the process once we have clean data. In this case, we can elevate and fix 3D data using commands like nudge line. In the diagrams here, you can see some cross-section work, but it works just as well for retaining walls, where the top and bottom of the retaining walls are in the same location but at different elevations. In this case, it shows a series of nodes for a series of walls or trenches or key-in slopes, and here it's calculating and moving the points around and moving the lines around so that it actually automatically allows me to create surface models. Adjust line string elevation allows me to taper line strings so that they meet existing grade, and we can adjust that over a given distance. Offset slope and slope-slope intersection allow me to calculate projected lines using two strings to calculate a third string, or two pairs of strings to calculate the intersection of two slopes. Coming soon, we have new commands like Slope Designer. Slope Designer will calculate offset slope, offset elevation, offset delta elevation, slope to an elevation, slope to a surface. But it doesn't just do slope design, it calculates all the inside corners and external corners correctly, gives you all the variations. It allows you to handle the elevations at the corners, but it also creates all the points for stakeout as well. Multi-offset line takes the slope designer a whole nother level. It allows you to create a series of lines using slope, offset and slope, offset and elevation for things like corridors, curb and gutter. Pick a number of lines, apply a template, and it will create you not just finished grade, but also subgrade and all the surfaces automatically. Great for edge details, curb and gutter, or subgrades, or even corridor road models. Surface modeling. Within the surface modeling features, we have tools that explode surface models, that convert surface models from tins into 3D line work that we can use for takeoff. We also have the ability to offset surfaces, combine different surfaces into a single surface model, and to find the intersection line strings between two surfaces for daylighting and finding out areas of cut and fill. When we get into the takeoff process, takeoff is really about the takeoff steps like strata, boreholes, adding areas of interest, running the takeoff reports, creating the drawings, the cut fill maps, the site improvement maps with or without legends. So this functionality is enhanced through the Rockpile tools like import boring logs. You can see in this picture it shows a series of boring logs in 3D. We connect 3D boring log information from spreadsheets. We dynamically link the spreadsheet into the project. You can edit the spreadsheet and it updates the project automatically. And we can import thousands of boreholes very quickly into TBC using this approach. That will save you hours and hours of time-consuming key-in of data and allow you to work with easy-to-use spreadsheets. Lines to areas of interest will convert any kind of closed area line into areas of interest for the takeoff process. Drawings and reports can be enhanced with cut fill map labels. You get the cut fill map on a grid, but what happens if you want to label specific lines or features and points along a line with text that's aligned to the alignment or aligned to the feature lines that you're labeling. Cut fill map labels will take care of that for you. RPS paste allows us to copy and paste information from the Windows clipboard. That can include text, Excel spreadsheet information. It can also include information that's captured using a Snagit tool or a clipping tool from Windows into your clipboard. So for things like 3D views, things like site improvement legends, cut fill map legends, or any other view that you might want to place on a drawing without having to use Dynaviews to do it. You capture an image on the clipboard and just simply paste it. Or if you've got a table of information that's been tabulated from a report that you want to copy and paste under the drawing, things like the RPS paste can copy and paste an Excel spreadsheet table complete with all formatting directly into the graphics area. Site improvement legend allows us to take a site improvement model, including all of the features with the materials and layer depths, and apply a legend to it automatically so that you can produce a drawing showing the colored areas on site along with the site improvements in the materials and material depths for people on site if you win the bid. Surface area by slope range allows us to calculate the amount of area on a surface that has different slope ranges for you, and it does a nice report that you can use as part of your takeoff calculations. But in general, in addition to all those things, not to mention the other commands that I haven't listed, we also have some key functions like lock views, which allows us to directly compare two plan views showing two different view filters, different information, so I can compare and contrast two different models. Rotate plan view allows me to rotate the plan view so I can align the sheet so it's easier to read while I'm working, so it's no longer north up. I can rotate it back and reset it. I can rotate it in relationship to an alignment or a line or a piece of text. A fixed name allows us to prefix and suffix names of objects with prefix and suffix information. That way I can handle revision names. I can handle adding extra feature information to my feature names, layer names, PDF names, etc. while I'm working. Name by layer allows me to name all the objects by the layer name. So once I've sorted out my layers and I've put data onto the right layers, I can use name by layer to rename things so that when I click on an object, it tells me what it is, and that object name will flow out to the field systems if we win the bid. Name by text allows me to find text inside polygonal areas and name those polygons using that area. So just many little commands, many little features, and I haven't even covered even half the commands in the library. These are just the ones that are very applicable to Takeoff, but every command will find a home in the Takeoff process at some point in the future. This is the main tools that we have available to Rockpile. Rockpile's All Tools for Takeoff is sold as an annual subscription package. It's $885 per person per year. We do offer multi-seat discounts for 3 to 5, 6 to 10, or 11 plus users. You can purchase for 1 to 3 years at the start point. And if you purchase up to 2 or 3 years, then basically you're locking in today's price for up to 3 years. We have 2 full-time developers today working on Rockpile Tools. That team is producing new commands most months. You guarantee to get all of those new commands, regardless of which toolbox we put it in, if you purchase all tools from us. When you buy all tools, you should also think about buying training and support. Our support team can help you really evolve your use of TBC, not just through the tools, but also through better training, better work process methodology, better understanding of how the tools work. So we offer a training season pass. We run weekly training sessions live. We record every session. We index and make them searchable, and then we post them on the Rockpile library, which is one of our website services that we offer. The training season pass is $695 a person per year, and that covers all of the live sessions and all of the recordings for a 12-month period. Our tech support agreements cover phone and email support, as well as support through our Rockpile community forum. A support agreement is $395 per person per year when you have an All Tools license. Combination deals are also available. The All Tools plus Season Pass further reduces the price of the Season Pass to $500 by combining it with All Tools at the time of purchase. That's $1,385. All Tools and Tech Support is $1,280. And then All Tools plus Season Pass plus Tech Support is $1,780 per person per year. The Rockpile Solutions libraries and templates that we've talked about in this presentation are all included in all of the subscription packages. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest in Rockpile Solutions. If you're interested in more information, please give us a call. Thank you.